Hey everyone, this is David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Let's just get right into it today because we are joined by the one, the only, Mr. Jorge Garcia.
Hi.
I mean, listen, you're coming off The Masked Singer. You deserve that introduction, Jorge.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it's the next morning. Have you taken it all in? Did you go out to just celebrate the experience? Are you upset about the early elimination? How are you doing today?
I feel great. I'm proud of what I did on the show. It was really kind of fun finding out which of my friends watched the show as my phone started blowing up. And one, just the people who saw the reveal themselves and couldn't believe it, but also the people who started getting texts from their friends who know they're friends with me and being like, did you know? Did he tell you? And some of them got spoiled a little ahead of time as different time zones were kind of watching the show. Obviously, it was just such a fun thing to do. It would have been great to have gone one more round, but that's the way it came apart, and I think I did all right.
I think so too. As your phone was blowing up, did you hear from anyone, to your point, that like we might know, like any of your famous friends say, "Oh my God, I can't believe it's you"?
No, it was just basically my unfamous friends, I guess.
They count too, right? So going into the show, I mean, why did you decide to do the show? Is it true like you were just a fan favorite and loved this show for all these wonderful seasons?
I did. I was a fan of this show. I came on a little later in the run, season 2 or 3, I think. Maybe it was just season 2, and then I went back to watch season 1 just to kind of like see them all. And yeah, I've always liked the show. I didn't know exactly how they recruited people for the show, but I just kind of reached out to my people being like, listen, just putting it out there. If they ever reach out, if or if you want to tell them that if they're interested, I'd be interested. And then time passed a bit, and then all of a sudden, the call came in, and I was like pretty excited, and then said yes, and then immediately got nervous and scared, being like, oh boy, here we go.
Here we go. As a fan of the show, watching the show, like how good were you, the weeks, we had like Candy Burris, Tori Spelling, we've had everyone, Adrienne Bayon. Like, are you good at, like, as a watcher before being part of the show, were you good at guessing?
No, I was a terrible guesser. Usually I would kind of let them make their guesses, and I do the multiple choice and be like, okay, maybe that one's the one. But yeah, I wasn't good at guessing anybody. I could kind of get, some I go, that's probably an athlete, but I don't really know athletes that well to know who it'd be. There's a few that, I thought this could be them, but I never called anyone, never got it.
Same here. Like you hear someone's name and you're like, oh my God, of course that's Candy Burris. Now it all makes sense, but never on my own would I be able to guess any of these.
Yeah, and I love it when like how my reveal where none of the guesses are right. That's always the best, where it's like everyone throws out an idea and it's someone completely different. That's always the most fun for me to watch.
I mean, like, you have been revealed. Do you think Jenny McCarthy is still convinced that you're Zach Brown from the Zach Brown band?
Yeah, it's interesting. There's so much that's thrown at them in the clue packages to as to what is the thing that you latch on to, and that can be in that, and then they find you got to be careful about finding the one clue that makes you think of someone and then using the other clues to convince yourself that you're right, because that can lead you heavy down a certain path if you don't pick the right one. Like when she saw the fiddle player in it, it was such an inside clue. I mean, when I was doing my interviews where they were coming up with stuff to put in my clue package, I talked about how, like, this is the reason I credit 2 movies as to why I wanted to become an actor: Raiders of the Lost Ark and Fiddler on the Roof. And I even played Tevye when I was in high school. But no one knows that. It's like, that's not common knowledge for like people who've, read stuff about me or look stuff up. So I just thought, I was like, spending so much time on the fiddle when over here is a lottery ticket with the number 15 on it, which is the most on the nose clue. That could have, that would have been the giveaway.
What was it about Raiders of Lost Ark and or Fiddler that kind of spoke to you and wanted you to become an actor?
I mean, it's hard to know exactly what specifically it was of those movies. They just made an impression on me for sure. I mean, as a kid, adventure and that kind of stuff is always great. And then also the grossness at the end when the faces melt had its appeal as well. And Fiddler, I don't know, I just kind of like, I used to sing If I Were a Rich Man as a kid, just like around the house or when company would come over and stuff, just because it was just, that was the kid I was, I guess.
Have you ever met Harrison Ford?
Once, briefly. Yeah, actually, the first time I went to upfronts at the beginning when Lost was about to start. And JJ was talking to him. And I kind of went over to say hi to JJ to be like, hey, I really had to say hi to you because I wanted to meet Harrison Ford. Let me introduce you. And he was like really nice and just kind of got, have that moment.
Are you the type that gets starstruck? I mean, you've been in the business for a while and you're around all these people.
Yeah, still totally for sure. And it's also great, but there's this great joy when they know who you are. Is always this extra little thing where it's like, wow, it's like that's so weird that you wanted to come over and say hi to me when you're Seal or things like that. There's a great moment. One of my favorites was I was doing this charity event, and it was like this carnival, and different celebs would like run different carnival games and things like that for it. And at one point, I kind of look across this little part of the field, and I see Henry Winkler, and we catch eyes, and he goes, and he starts walking over towards me, and it's like, holy crap, the Fonz is coming over to say hi to me because he knows who I am. That's still one of those moments that kind of I remember.
And then to someone like that start quoting and like getting deep into the Lost